just on behalf of our organization and the Minnesota Vikings family, reaching out to our family at the league office there at Park Avenue. A tragedy that took place affecting, so many folks and lives. And we just, we want to make sure our support and condolences are with the families of those who have been injured and most importantly, who lost their lives in a, senseless tragedy. Been thinking about that this morning and just wanted to make sure we started out with that. Really good first day in pads yesterday. Sequenced up a lot of, combination work between positions, whether it would be O-line, D-line, the guys on the edges, inside linebackers, running backs, and then obviously the passing game one-on-ones. Sequence that up with then getting into some, inside run drills and some physicality there where it wasn't in the all-11 setting. We got some one-on-one pass rush. Really loved the way the guys attacked the physicality of the practice, and then we worked through some different phases. Really good day. Once again by our defense, continuing to prove that veteran nature of that first group, and then how some of these guys are starting off camp. The mixture of how Jonathan Grenard and Hargrave and Gink and John Allen are, really meshing together pretty quickly is going to be a very, very good thing for the Vikings and really good thing for both sides. Great work for us as an offense. But then I also want to mention Dallas Turner seems to just continue to show up to me on tape, and I thought J.J. McCarthy had another really good day, and our offense, in the absence of Jets, we're seeing some guys, like Jordan Addison, like he's done before in the past, step in there and make some plays. And it was also, although we didn't get to see him a lot in team periods, CD, full pads getting in some work, as well as Will Fries getting in there early part of practice. So where are we at in the week? We'll have shells on today. So we are still practicing today. Some really good work plans, some situational work at the end of practice. A little bit different than the 2-minute, but you guys will see and understand that drill. But I'm excited about today. Excited about tomorrow. Critical phase these eight days or so in training camp for our football team. All right, and then just a housekeeping note with Isaiah Rodgers. He just had a little soreness. You'll see him work his way back in here as we go throughout these next couple days. You'll see him out there a little bit today.
What have you made of just the journey of Lucky Jackson?
Yeah.
Starting out in the XFL, was a practice squad, the way he stepped in for you last couple days.
Yeah, I think it shows a lot that he can step in for, in many ways, and take the positional reps that Justin will be taking. I think it says a lot about Key and Tony's trust in him, Wes, myself. But this is a guy that does everything the right way. Doing everything in his control to become the best player he can become. Just happens to be in a very deep receiver room, but he's getting some opportunity right now for sure. I think Jalen Naylor's having a great camp. I showed the team 3 or 4 clips last night that can sometimes go unnoticed. Guys just doing their job in that inside position that many cast of characters over the years have made real famous by just doing their job from the slot in this system. And Speedy's having a great camp, picking up right where he left off in the spring. But yeah, Lucky, Jayshon Jones is off to a really good start. We're seeing our young guys all be, taking strides, not making the same mistake twice. And Rondell is getting his legs underneath him and continues to do some things that really impress. So really fired up about that group as a whole. Our folks here, obviously Andrew Miller's in direct dialogue with the league, and then Dave Korst is as good as anybody I've ever been around for security for our organization. I from time to time I'll get briefed on some things, but those folks know that my expectation is that we are, totally safe, and our folks always handle things so well, and we expect this. Our campus, while we're hosting our fans and everything, to remain that. It's been phenomenal having the fans out here every day.
In that 2-minute drill yesterday at the end, there's a couple of plays where JJ ends up not throwing the ball.
Those are called sacks. Yes.
What do we need to know about those that we maybe didn't see?
No, I'm just joking with you, Kev. But no, it was, the first first play of the drill, you're always trying to get the drill off to a good start in that 2-minute setting. But end of half, can we kind of, capture the momentum of the drill by making a play on the first play, and then being able to play it out from there on our terms, and not just hope for a field goal, but maybe we go down and try to score. We've had some success over the years, these last three years, in that middle 8 kind of end of half phase, but that was not always against the likes of Grenard, Gink, Hargrave, Allen, and I think Cash or IP might have been in there as well. But Flo brought a pressure, just a simple pressure, playing man coverage, real tight, sticky coverage on the outside, and they were able to run a game up front and get home almost at the top of JJ's drop on the first one. And then I think another time where there was a chance to change the whole drill down the field with our secondary or primary, however you look at it, progression. And JG, that's why he's here. Call him the closer. How many times have we seen him win a one-on-one or even a help from the back or the tight end, and he just wins and ends the drill. We're not at full capacity with that O-line group right now, but there is zero excuse from a standpoint of not being able to have have the time to throw and compete, and that's what that drill is, kind of known passing. I thought the O-line showed some great physicality throughout the day in the run game, the play-action pass protections, our different phases of our offense. But some games, as you guys know, many of ours, maybe coincidentally or not, many of ours come down to those one-score games, and we're going to have to be great as a team situationally. But the defense clearly won that 2-minute, ones and twos yesterday. Yeah, he's gonna try to, when it's such an immediate, we call it immediate duress. Your job is to, sometimes, you guys have heard me say this before, sometimes the best thing you can do is, just fight through the down with the possession of the football, and not allow the defense to take that away and possibly catastrophically change the end of a half there, whether we're receiving the kickoff or not. I talked to our team last night about I'm sure some of those guys were rolling their eyes, but I really got into the weeds on all the things going through my head as the play caller, what's going through Flo's head, combined how we pair our mentalities to then call the games in those situations. What's the risk assessment and management look like? How aggressive do we want to be? And it's got to be in total lockstep for us to then pair a really good middle 8 portion of the game together. So it was, from a coaching landscape of being the head coach, not necessarily the offensive coordinator, it was a great day for me yesterday. Offense made some plays, defense made a lot of plays, and the Vikings got better.
On the other side of that coin, at the top, you named all 5 guys specifically from that defensive front as you've been reviewing what they've been doing.
Yeah.
I know it's early, but you got to be licking your lips and rubbing your hands and let these guys get maybe with the
That's exactly what I'm doing. I am very excited about that group. Well put. I am very excited about that group, and it's not just the new players. It's Jonathan Grenard. And I don't know how many times you guys have talked to him yet early on here in camp, but he feels to have kind of he's turned it up a notch, and that's a Pro Bowl player, Pro Bowl starter from last year. Gink's the same way, and then you add in the likes of Grave and J.A. inside, and you start to feel in many ways what we felt playing. I tell you guys every week that whether it's the edge guys or the interior guys, there's always things we have to focus on. But right now you look across that board in that first group, and then you talk about Dallas Turner, what he adds to that group where we really feel like we've got 3 starters. Haven't even mentioned Harrison Phillips, where we feel like we've got those interior starters, some good young players, Ty Ingram Dawkins, Redmond, Levi. It's a chore, especially when you've got some linemen on the offensive side working their way back in. But yeah, I told JG if he wants to take the next month off, that's okay with me. We'll be ready to go after trying to block him yesterday. Awesome drill for those guys. Yeah. Yeah, it's a great point, and I think it's an even bigger point in Flo's defense because of the ownership that he gives these guys. Once they truly grasp what we're trying to do front to back, all 11, It's not just Harry, that's, a beacon of communication. Those guys up front, based upon what did we do last time? If it's a 4-man rush, what's that game look like between, the tackles and the ends, and how do we activate things to attack? The coaches will give them the tools, but then that's the best thing Flo and those guys do is they allow them to, in a lot of ways, apply what they're feeling on a snap-to-snap basis to what they're going to do next. And credit him and his staff and MD and Thad for what those guys do with that group up front.
Kevin Ivan was talking about how he's been in the brain of Cashman,
Mm-hmm.
learning from him, maybe playing off him. Have you seen any improvement from Ivan that way? You're trying to do that before?
Yeah, and make no mistake about it, like this, I always give IP a hard time because IP is at his best when he can Tasmanian Devil go tackle everybody on the field. We don't let him do that out here for the safety of not only our players but me included. But I've always seen a level of football make sense to Ivan. There does seem to be a little bit of scheme understanding mixed with the chemistry factor with Blake Cashman, mixed with, the back end too. Harry, Metellus, Theo, how's that dynamic of disguise work based upon what their jobs are on the play. I think it's been awesome. And to think it's not even August yet and we're getting that type of cohesiveness amongst that first group defensively. I mentioned him to open camp. Like, my expectations are very, very high for our defense. Coaching staff, veteran players, younger, ascending players, a lot of returners now that do, guys back in the scheme to, take it to, I don't want to say new levels because I don't know how much more they can invent, but they can certainly make things as user-friendly and applicable as possible to our guys playing the positions. Yeah. Yeah. He's so important to our team, Dane. Justin wants to be out here, be around, wants to be present with his teammates, and not just the receiver group, the offense. When the 2-minute didn't go well, didn't go as the way you want offensively, I heard him. Not in a negative way, but just, hey, we know we got to be better than that. We'll get another chance here in a couple days. And that was my challenge to him is there's a lot of ways we can maximize this time as one of our captains, a guy that sets the tone in this building, and he is knocking it out of the park. Rehab's going really well, already progressing. So, could end up being a blessing, in disguise in a lot of ways where, Justin's mentally preparing and engaging with his teammates. He's completely present every single day. But at the same time, we're going to make, we're trying to build him up for 17 plus games. And, just very fortunate we were able to get out in front of things the way we were.
Last couple. Did he lobby to call a play?
I've actually let him call a few of the short ones into the quarterbacks, which then immediately he complained about how long the play was, and the quarterbacks complained that they didn't quite understand some of the Louisiana terms that maybe Justin said a little different than the kid from San Diego. So kid is a loose term for me, obviously. Oh yeah, the way I look at it, Kevin, is it's what I just said for sure applies here for the finite amount of time we're talking about to get him right and get him totally ready to roll for the grind that, the guy plays 70 plus snaps a week, and what we ask him to do is just flat out remarkable that he's, able to consistently do that. But you still want to have him back sooner rather than later. I don't have, like I said, zero worry about the opener, but there's a lot of time between now and then, and what that looks like, we're going to be smart, but at the same time, he wants to get back out there. He does not want to stay, wearing what I wear to practice for much longer.
And most guys like wearing the pads and practicing versus not wearing the pads. I mean, do they look at that as their chance to improve with the Willie because it's more physical?
I think that rolls into the, smart, tough, love football. Like, some guys are aware how important it is, and when you emphasize to them we are building, the armor of our team by practicing a certain way, trying to push to that limit. These are world-class, athletes out there playing really fast, physical. Can we push all the way to the line, but figure out a way to not cross that line into combativeness and where it starts to dip the other way? And I think our guys have mastered that. there's still a lot going on that leads me to believe we're a very tough, mentally and physically tough football team, but not undisciplined and erratic enough to ruin days and miss practice time for either individual players or groups. That's not how we roll around here. We're trying to get the work. We're about the work. And these guys know that sequentially every single moment matters for our team over the next month.
Last one. Careful with Justin is how do he and JJ make the best of the time when they don't have him?
Yeah, I think you see it in meeting rooms. I mean, even in the install today, dialogue between those two guys, post-practice, Justin being out there in real time. As we continue to work through the progression of our install, there's some things that are kind of quote-unquote for Justin that we've kind of built over the last 3 years. So, we'll give some other guys some reps at that, and it'll be a huge opportunity for not only JA and TJ and Speedy, but some of our down-the-line guys that are trying to fight to make our team as well. So, and Justin will be there every step of the way to help those guys. And listen, there's a reason why he is so beloved in this building, and clearly he's the best in the world at what he does, but he's also a phenomenal teammate. He's also phenomenal with his dialogue with me as the play caller, with Keenan as his position coach, the quarterback, all of that. That's why I hold Justin in such high regard.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, guys.